Yo, welcome back to Yo Nerd, the podcast where we talk about nerd culture news, share our opinions, and debate on just about anything. I'm Jase.
I'm Zion.
I'm Noah.
And speaking of debates, we have a fun episode for y'all today. The past few weeks, we've been doing sort of episodes on different reviews, different franchises. Last week, we reviewed Transformers 1. Mm-hmm. So if you didn't watch that, go check it out. But this week, we are debating who is the best live-action Spider-Man.
We already know who's going to win this one, guys.
Yeah. But we'll get into that later. Right now, let's get into our nerd culture news for the week.
All right, so this week's news is pretty short and simple. We're going to talk about The Penguin Episode 2. Try to give very brief spoiler-free thoughts on Episode 2. But basically, this show is really impressing me so far. Have you got a chance to watch it?
Still haven't watched it.
Haven't watched it. That's
not gonna lie, I've been on the Naruto grind. I've been watching
Naruto?
I've been watching Naruto. I thought I told you that.
No.
Yeah, I've been watching Naruto.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But I actually, okay. By this time next week, I will be caught up on The Penguin. I promise y'all.
Okay.
All right.
So real quick, I think what's really impressive about the show is it has painted Oswald Cobb, as they call him in the show. They changed his name to be more grounded, which was a little dumb to me, but that's fine. What's been really impressive about the Penguin is they paint him in such a lowly position, and he's put in all these impossible scenarios. Like me and I was watching it with my wife, and we were just sitting there like, how in the world does he get out of this? Yeah. And it kept being situation after situation of like, how do you do that? What do you do in that situation? And he's so cunning and so unsuspecting that he's able to just navigate and get his way and talk his way out of any situation, which is really impressive. And the way he kind of navigates and, it's weird too watching the show because you're rooting for him. The show does a really good job of making you understand him. You start rooting for him, and then he does something horrible. And you remember oh yeah, this guy's a villain for a reason. He's actually a terrible human being, but you're still you still want him to succeed and do well. Yeah. Overall, the show's been really good. I've been really impressed and really excited. Again, just content warning on the Penguin, a lot of language, violence, very graphic, but overall, it's been a great show. So now it's time. We're going to get to the Spider-Man review, Spider-Man debate.
All right, so getting into our debate now, who is the best live-action Spider-Man? We have three, obviously, Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, and Tom Holland. And the way we're going to debate, we're going to break it down into four different categories. It's going to be strength, intellect, their suits, and their just overall Peter Parker. Mine is Andrew Garfield.
Mine is obviously the best. Some would say most faithful, most talented.
This guy.
Probably. Tom Holland, everybody. That's
mine. Mine is Tobey Maguire, the clear best, most powerful, best suit.
Whoa.
Okay, wait.
No.
First, before, I actually think it's kind of weird because usually, Noah, if you guys didn't know, he's the youngest out of the three of us, and Zion's the oldest out of the three of us. Usually, the older crowd likes Tobey. Not okay. Chill. That was crazy. Hold on. Not older crowd. But listen. Those movies came out around the time that you were a kid. I'm not those are pretty recent.
How old are you?
I'm 21.
All right, that's fair. You're all right. I'm only 24 though.
Okay, but I'm saying I watched the Tobey Maguire movies
I mean, it's true. They did come out when I was a kid.
So it's interesting that they're switched because usually the younger people like Tom Holland.
I mean, with more age comes more wisdom. And with more wisdom, you're able to actually make the right choices and decide, what might be better than another thing.
So Revenge of the Sith is better than
No, I'm saying I'm older and I can decide.
All right.
We're not going to get into Star Wars.
Yeah, okay.
But that is coming, guys. Please subscribe.
For our Star Wars ranking.
Star Wars is coming, and it's going to be crazy. But anyway, back to Spider-Man.
All right, so first category, who wants to start with strength?
I'm interested to hear yours because you're the clear third.
Actually, no, I want to go
Andrew-
last.
No, no,
I want to
no,
go
no,
last.
No, you're first. I gotta even see.
I want to go
you're-
last.
I'll go first. I'll go
okay,
first.
Okay, fine.
All right,
Fine, you go
I'll
first.
start us off. All right, so for the strength category, I'm going with a moment with Tom Holland's Spider-Man that might not at first seem like strength per se. It's not the most. You wouldn't look at it and say, "Oh, that was the strongest thing or the most weight he ever lifted or anything like
He's gonna
that."
pick something. Well, he's a strong will. All right, buddy. We're talking about strength, buddy.
No, because Tom has plenty of those moments. Shout out, honorable mention to him literally holding a fairy together.
He didn't
by
hold
his
it together.
strength.
It was
He
ripping him
he
apart,
did.
and Iron Man saved
Hey,
his
Iron
life.
Man would have been late if not for him. He would have been too late.
No, he would've
anyway,
been-
no,
he didn't
that's not my moment.
Okay, what's your moment?
My
What's your
moment
moment?
comes-
I thought you were gonna
Holding
say
an
fairy,
elevator
so
up or
let's
something.
see.
Like, what else does he have?
My moment comes from Spider-Man Far From Home. The final battle with Mysterio. I've not seen any other Spider-Man do this. Peter Parker relies on his spider sense alone.
So this has nothing to do with strength, buddy.
This-
That's
this is
spider
strength
sense.
because it's related to his powers. No other Spider-Man has fully closed their eyes.
That's not strength.
No, hold on.
All right, so
And
you're
then-
never mind.
he
I
was
thought Andrew's gonna be last.
He was
Tom's
ripping
last.
robots apart with his hands.
Ooh.
He was ripping robots apart with his hands. Drones.
Cool.
Ripping robots apart with his hands.
That's impressive. That
All
is
right,
a-
so Jace, you're up.
no, hold on. I need to just explain why.
Yeah,
here's why.
Please explain.
No, here's why.
Because he dodged so well, he's stronger than them.
No, but
That's-
when
that's
I'm
what we're
looking at
debating
power,
now.
I'm not just looking at how much you can lift or
It's
how hard you
strength.
can
It's
punch.
strength.
Even though he punched very hard and he fought all the drones, which I think, no offense to the other two, but the other two Spider-Man would have had a very hard time.
That's
If-
an impressive
no,
feat, but it has
I'm
nothing to do with
saying, if
strength.
Tobey was having a hard time fighting the people that he was, he could barely
Who?
dodge.
Green Goblin, who
He could
trashed on
barely-
Spider-Man the entire
He
No Way
could
Home?
barely dodge
Tom couldn't even dodge.
little goblin bombs.
Tom couldn't even dodge a
Tom was
banana.
fighting thousands of drones by himself, fighting thousands of drones, then closes his eyes and fights them. Not only does no other Spider-Man do that, no other superhero could do that. I believe, except for Daredevil. Shout out.
All right. So that had nothing to do with
That
strength.
is my-
Up to you, Jace.
honor. That is my moment of strength. It takes a lot of strength to rely on your powers like that and fight thousands.
So inner strength, cool. So let's
No,
go to
so
actual
So
strength.
we
now,
actually
Jace.
didn't cover any physical strength from Tom, so that's gonna be.
he did. He fought
He
all
ripped
the
some
drones.
robots. He ripped robots.
All right, yeah, okay, right. He ripped robots. All
So
right,
that's your strength.
we already know what you're gonna say for Toby. Go ahead.
Stopping a moving train.
Okay.
Come
All right.
on. It's the most impressive feat we've ever seen Spider-Man do, strength-wise. It's absurd.
Oh,
A massive
my-
train full of people with his brakes broken off, and he stops it. Almost broke his kneecaps, too. He has some strong knees for... Anyway, we don't have to get into that, but clearly the
I
strongest. He also held together a fairy looking thing. What's that called? That goes on, like, the wires.
Oh, the cable car.
Yeah,
thing?
he held that with one hand while holding MJ. And fighting Green Goblin. He also held a wall of a
Okay,
building,
we don't get
threw it off of
1,000
MJ.
mentions,
It's
bro.
who's
The
the
train.
strongest? Who's the strongest? I'm showing you why.
No, but I will say, I want to hate, but I can't. The train scene is too
That's
good.
crazy, bro.
It's good.
It was
The screen?
I love that scene.
It's good, but you're forgetting one pivotal moment after he stopped the train.
He passed out
He passes out.
because that
Now
was
listen.
how impressive it was.
Listen.
It's like taking away John Henry.
I did my research. All right.
Because he couldn't.
Tobey Maguire
He could not think of it on his own. He had to research other
Tobey
people's
Maguire.
opinions on Andrew.
exerted 45,000 pounds of force.
I've seen this exact video you've done, and it's wrong. Because he also said that
45,000
he also
pounds of
said that
force.
Tom held together an entire fair, and he did the whole calculation. And we can.
But
he
Tom
didn't hold
Tom
together.
didn't
a
even
theory.
Tom didn't even hold together the fairy. So we're not
Exactly.
arguing about that. We're arguing about
He
Toby
did-
right now.
He held it together, but it's fine.
No.
It's fine. He did.
No, he didn't.
He
No,
did.
he didn't. No, he didn't.
You know what led him wrong actually, and thankfully he got rid of it now. His suit AI
Yeah, he needs all the
telling
help.
him all the points.
He wouldn't
of
be
power.
able to do it regardless. He wouldn't have been able to do that. Just hold it together or get all of the points where he needed to put his webs. No, he's not
Yes, he
doing that.
would have. He missed one.
All right, Jace,
Exactly.
Go on to your.
Anyway, strength. Andrew Garfield wins, and let me tell you why. Is a very brief moment in The Amazing Spider-Man 2, one of the opening scenes when Andrew is fighting Punisher, right? Who was that?
Oh.
Or the Rhino. My goodness, not the Punisher.
Yeah.
On the way to the graduation, okay, it's not focused on enough.
When he stops the
But
bus.
he stops a bus. Listen. He stops a bus. I did my research. That bus, 35,000 pounds. Okay. He holds it. He holds it. No. Listen.
Let
You
him,
exposed yourself.
let him
bro.
finish, and then I'm gonna go in and just destroy this entire argument. Go
Listen,
on.
35,000 pounds, empty bus. There's people on the bus. He stops it like this. Nothing, no webs, no nothing. Has his hands, and it's supported on his back.
Just watched that scene last night. It was pretty cool. Too
Okay,
bad
let me
that-
finish.
it's too bad that Tobey.
Back to my point. Tobey literally passes out. He's out for the count, exposes identity like 100 people. Andrew gets right back in there and starts fighting. He literally trashes on Alexei, the rhino. Like
with no armor on. He's just a human with a gun. Nice. That's really impressive.
But I'm saying he got back to fighting.
I've never seen Spider-Man
He
beat up
got
a guy
right
with a
back
gun
to
before.
business. He got right back to
All
business.
right, so you're saying that because he stopped one bus, that's more impressive than a string of
You're
buses
saying one
together,
bus?
moving at like 45 miles an hour
You're saying
versus
one
a
bus, like
bus
it's like
moving
a
5
5-pound
miles an
dumbbell.
hour. But a train is literally just a combination of buses strung together. Are you saying that a bus is as heavy as a train?
I'm not saying it's as heavy as a train.
So he stopped more than Andrew, not even
combination of
close,
buses.
and it was moving at like 45 miles an hour or however.
The bus was literally moving. How fast do cars drive? How fast do buses drive?
It was sideways.
All
it
right,
wasn't
but
even driving.
Here's the thing.
It
Jace.
got hit
Jace,
off track.
Here's the thing, bro.
Nah, y'all.
You expose yourself
You just
literally
sold, bro.
in your explanation because you said that Tobey stopped 45,000.
No,
in
I know.
The video,
I know.
And then you said
He's saying
less.
because, it's
35.
because
Yeah,
he
no,
said,
I completely
he's saying
understand
because
that.
he passed out.
I'm
Makes
saying
it less impressive.
my
see.
point is because Toby passed out.
But
He
in
was out
what
for the
world
count.
is a
Andrew
train
got right back to
45,000
business.
and one bus is 35,000? That must be the biggest bus of all time. If it's almost as heavy
You
as
ever
a
been to
train.
New York? Tourist bus?
You're saying that's weighs almost as much as a train.
How much? Do you know how much the train weighs?
Way more than what you said. If that's,
Do you
Bro,
know?
it's
Do you have?
no, Jace.
This-
I'm
and
sorry.
it's also-
I'm not even for Toby.
bro, it was moving so
a
fast.
train versus a bus.
Andrew didn't use
At
webs
full
either.
speed?
Andrew didn't use webs either.
Why? Why does it matter if you use webs?
Because there's a difference if you use your webs to stop something versus just catching something with your back, let alone.
He also was kind of using his legs because he kind of like squatted it, but it's fine.
Well, here's what I'll say. Both of them actually had the ground and things to web.
He didn't
and
have a
put
ground.
their
He just stood on the
used
train.
for force to stop things. They didn't literally
Rip a
hold
robot?
a ferry
I
together.
thought
in
your
midair.
argument wasn't the fair. I thought
Your
it was
argument,
ripping robots.
your argument is that he
No, it
uses
is.
spidey
And
sense.
Nah,
I'll
he's
also say-
backtracking now.
In terms of powers, they don't have as strong powers as him because they're not closing their eyes and having a final battle. Just saying.
All right,
He's the most
so
powerful.
Tom's the weakest. Maybe Andrew, because all he
No.
could do was stop a bus.
We're gonna need to let the viewers, because this is never gonna.
Yeah,
end.
it's not gonna end. We can move on.
All right, you guys comment down below. Who do you think wins in the strength or power category?
Strength.
Andrew Garfield easily.
All right,
Moving on.
I'll
Intellect.
take this one first.
Yeah,
Intellect.
we're just
Okay,
we're
go
just
ahead.
we might not even show yours. All right.
Toby's last. I'm not gonna try to fight it. Not to say that he's dumb at all, because I don't think he is. I think Peter Parker. They're always smart.
Toby's
Always.
I mean,
It's the same character. I would still say Andrew's very powerful. I just think Toby's stronger. I would still say Toby's smart. Just the other two have had intellectual feats that Toby never had. They both
fair.
built their web thing. So I'm not gonna say Toby's dumb, but he never had a moment where I could say he was as smart as the other two. So I'm gonna let y'all debate for number one.
okay.
I'm gonna take number three, but he's not dumb.
About Toby, and regardless of where we're at in the debate, I do. We all love all the Spider-Man
Yeah,
movies.
for sure.
Toby, Andrew, they're awesome. But real quick, how weird is it that the webs come out of Toby's wrist?
That's
All right,
weird.
so if you get bit by
I'm not
a
gonna-
radioactive spider, it's gonna change your DNA. So you only get the strength, but you don't get the web capabilities. Why would you not get the web?
I'm just saying, like, what is that?
So you only get the strength and durability and a spidey sense. That makes sense, but not getting the web.
I'm not saying any of it makes sense, but I'm just saying that's probably the grossest
Yeah,
part.
that's-
that
All right, it
we're-
doesn't matter how
that we're
gross it
talking
is.
about, dude. Like,
got
he
bit
has
by a
webs
spider and he-
shooting out of
He
his
gains
body.
spider powers. Why would he not get the main spider's power? Spidey sense makes sense, but a web doesn't. All right,
I
move on.
just want to throw that out there.
yeah, I agree. It's kind of
you know.
nasty.
You know, but I'm glad you're honest about Tobey. Can't say the same about Tom though. This man, movie after movie, scene after scene, displayed an intellect like no other.
All right, that's kind of glazing, bro. That's crazy.
All right.
Intellect like no other, guys.
Here's my pick.
His girlfriend had to figure out who Mysterio was.
Here's my pick for the intellect moment. Okay, it comes from Spider-Man: No Way Home. Tom is curing all the villains that their two Spider-Man couldn't cure. They didn't try.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
They weren't able to figure out.
He just lost.
No.
He just lost. All right.
No,
go ahead.
Pull
Go
the
ahead.
Jase.
I'm
Go
just
ahead.
saying.
Just pulled the Jase.
Go ahead.
He's sitting there in a lab doing all the experiments and everything.
So
All three were
he
doing it,
cured
by the way.
all of the villains.
They all
He
were
didn't
doing
cure
it.
them all, but he could have. He was about to cure Green Goblin, except Green Goblin got the best of him. But he had a cure ready. Tobey didn't.
Green
figure that
Goblin
out.
just beat Tom.
Toby didn't even try.
Like,
But you know who did? Andrew Garfield. Who cured the lizard?
Dude, every story the lizard.
Oh my.
That's not an impressive feat. Every lizard either dies or gets cured. I'm saying it's a normal thing. Like, that's the bar for Spider-Man. But Green Goblin, one of Spider-Man's most iconic villains, developing a cure for him?
We also don't know if it worked because he got trashed on, and then trying to murder him.
No, it did work.
Also, sorry, I forgot in the strength category, just to end the debate, he literally stopped Tom in No Way Home from killing. He literally just
Oh my!
overpowered
Didn't
him.
stop him, dude.
I don't
Tom
know
wasn't
about
gonna
that.
stab him.
I mean, yes, he did, but low key,
He was about to
didn't-
murder-
Tom didn't have the leverage. Toby had the leverage.
exactly.
So I don't know if I count that.
He was about to try to murder the Green Goblin first of all, which not Spider-Man like
All
at
right,
all
but he didn't. Number one.
because of Toby.
Every Spider-Man has
the
had
true
dark
Spider-Man.
moments.
The true Spider-Man. He started murdering after his two movies. He was about to murder Green Goblin. Toby was gonna murder someone, but he had a change of heart right before he fell out a window, so it doesn't count.
He killed, bro. He is.
It doesn't
No,
count.
we're not gonna
No.
get into that. We're not gonna get into this debate because Toby literally killed him.
He
bro.
didn't kill him. He stopped, and the guy just fell through. a
No,
window.
he was.
He didn't touch
was
him.
The direct cause of that dude's death.
True, but he didn't actually do it. The guy
What?
the guy tripped and fell out of a window.
No.
Did Toby touch him?
Yeah.
Yes, he
No.
broke his arm.
All right, but that was before he fell out of the window. The broken arm had nothing to do with him dying. All right, move on.
Yeah, no, moving.
Intellect, yeah, IQ.
Moving on. Okay.
All right.
So that's your point. Is that? Oh, yeah.
He was able
He
to-
was. He lost. He lost.
They also
'Cause-
were all three doing it together.
exactly.
like the
First of all,
Cures.
they were all doing it together. Andrew
they
literally
weren't.
came up.
yeah, they
No,
were.
before they came, he had them all figured out. Then Green Goblin messed stuff up.
All right. Anyway,
Just saying.
Apart
Just saying.
from Andrew literally creating the serum that cured Dr. Connors, that in and of itself, whatever. I have more though. Obviously, second in his class at his high school. His
Pretty
web
sure Toby
shooters.
was first, by the way, but he was
No. Listen. My main point I wanted to bring up is his web shooters. Obviously, Toby has his organic, so he can't build them. I think that Andrew's web shooters are better than Tom's because one, we actually got to see I guess we never got to see how Tom made his web shooters. Actually, we got to see how he made his
fair.
webs, but Andrew's web shooters, how much of a genius do you have to be to make a web shooter out of some old watch parts? And then his webs, I think, are better than Tom's overall because they're stronger. Tom's didn't hold together that fairy. Literally, literally, Andrews was holding everything. He was holding literal electricity.
That doesn't make sense, bro. Like,
What are you talking about? What are you talking about? If you're telling me that
He's
if you
holding
try to
electricity?
zap, if you zap, let's say, okay, take a spider web, right? If you zap it with electricity, you don't think it's gonna fall apart? The web.
Never tried it.
I mean, synthetic web. I don't know.
okay, so why didn't Tom's hold together the fairy? It wasn't strong enough. That's what I'm saying.
But you're
That's what I'm saying.
comparing a ferry, a giant ferry, a whole boat, a whole cruise ship, pretty much.
All right, that
cruise
is
ship
not
is
a cruise ship.
crazy.
A cruise
A
ship
mini
is
cruise
crazy.
ship
Bro thinks he was holding
versus
together the
electricity?
Titanic.
That's crazy.
No, but his webs never broke. Like you see.
I mean, Tom's, that was the only time.
Broke Gwen's
Toby's
back.
broke.
My bad.
Yeah.
Oh, what are we talking about?
Yeah.
Sorry, what was it?
I heard him.
That's great.
That was crazy.
All right.
Anyway, so
Let's just move on from that.
yeah, overall, Andrew had his web shooters and his webs, and then obviously second in his class, and developed a cure for the lizard serum.
So 1 cure versus 6.
What do you
Cool.
mean
It's
versus
cool. Awesome.
6?
Anyway, so those are the moments for the intellect category. Andrew made web shooters, which every Spider-Man makes.
So you're
not the
forgetting.
not the true
No.
Spider-Man.
Listen,
I-
Tom wasn't smart enough to see that he was giving the most powerful weapon in the world to a villain.
The most
literal-
powerful weapon.
Yes, Edith,
glasses.
the glasses.
I wouldn't say it's the most powerful.
All right,
weapon
it
in the
is
world.
up there with
pretty
the most
powerful.
All right, but every
dangerous.
Spider-Man has made poor choices. All of their villains are people that they knew and trusted. Now, oversight on Tom's part, but we're not talking about the maturity and decision making here.
That's intellect.
No,
That is
maturity.
literally if he had half a brain, he would know that something's wrong with Mysterio.
He was a pretty convincing guy. I'm not gonna lie. That was the whole point. I forgot he was a villain the first time I was watching the movie. I was like, oh, this is great. Just saying. Tom cured 6 villains, or at least developed a cure for 6. And then, according to this guy, Tobey Spider-Man wasn't very smart.
He's very smart.
No, he's not.
Yes,
No,
he
he's
is.
not. No,
Top
he's
of his
not.
class. Something that Andrew couldn't do. But besides that,
we know he's not. We know
he's not as smart as the other two, but he's still a very smart person.
All right. Well, next category.
All right, up next is the suits slash
drip.
yeah.
The drip category. Let's be real. If
Yeah,
Miles were here, it'd be over. In fact, in all the categories, probably.
Yeah,
Maybe.
honestly, the Spider-Man 2 video game, Miles lost so much aura.
Oh yeah, it's true. But we're not talking about that.
Yeah,
we're
that
not
was
talking
so
about
bad.
that. But suits. Who has the best suits out of all?
You
the
can go first. You can go through all 7 of his mid suits and just we can be done with that.
All right, so I'll be
Go
honest.
through each one.
MCU Spider-Man has had some ups and downs. I will say his homemade suit was a great homemade suit.
Like
Yeah.
his
Every
first one,
Spider-Man kind of has
Homecoming?
a first, like
The
I
wrestling
will.
suit?
budget.
Yeah,
TJ Maxx
I'll
suit.
agree. I'll say that Tom Holland's homemade suit was the best out
Oh,
of the
the
three.
aura with the human spider wrestling suit. Come on.
Oh, by
That's
the way, you
aura.
didn't mention your outfit.
Low-key inspired by the human spider.
Yeah. Or
The
did
wrestling
you call him
suit.
something else?
The human spider is what he wanted to be called, and the guy called him Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Gotcha.
Aura.
So I'll say MCU Spider-Man had some ups and downs when it came to the suits. I
Spider
personally-
monkey.
What?
The spider monkey thing. What do you call it? The night
Night
monkey?
Monkey.
Yeah, that's wild.
All right, Far From Home, scratch out.
That last suit was
you didn't
kinda
like
nice.
The last suit, the black suit.
I didn't. I don't like
Or
the
the
red,
red
and
and
black
black?
because that to me is more Miles. I like when there's blue in the suit.
Okay.
I also didn't particularly like his suit in No Way Home with the gold
I didn't
on
either.
it.
I didn't either.
However-
the integrated suit.
I really like the Iron Spider suit in Infinity War and Endgame. I'll say I enjoyed it. It wasn't my favorite, but it worked for those movies.
Yeah.
My second favorite out of Tom's suits would be the one from Homecoming.
That's your
His first
second
suit.
favorite? Iron Spider's your favorite suit?
No, I'll explain.
Oh, okay.
I would say my top 2 are the one from Homecoming, his first suit that Iron Man gave him. I think honestly, it's a great modern Spider-Man suit.
Yeah.
Like, sure, Iron Man made it, so I get a lot of people don't like. It's like, oh, it's not a Spider-Man suit, but I thought it looked great. The colors were right on point. The style, everything about it, I really like that suit. But the peak suit,
We've only seen it for 20
we all
seconds.
got hyped when we saw it.
Because it was
The
his first
suit-
true
hold
suit.
on. The suit from the end of No Way Home.
Yep.
Red, perfect. Lining, perfect. The symbol, classic.
Glad we got to see all 15 seconds of it.
I can't even
That
count
was
it
the
towards
point,
being
though.
the best suit because we
The
haven't seen it
blue-
yet.
The blue of the suit was the perfect shade. I love how it's got a little, reflectiveness to
All right,
it.
Zion. We'll get back to that when his next movie comes out. We haven't actually seen it.
No, but we did see
We
it.
see it for 15 seconds while you
I'm just going to
It's
say
in Spider-Man
awesome.
2, right?
It's in the Spider-Man 2 video game. You know I was using it. Get those other suits out of here. I'm saying Tom has, not only does he has the most variety, but I would say his suits are the most faithful to comic book suits. Sure, the other two have become iconic because of their movies, but I would say the most faithful to Spider-Man and Spider-Man stories are Tom's suits, especially in terms of color, because the other two low-key dark. Yeah. That's my argument. Tom's got the drip.
All right, I'll go next. Okay, Amazing Spider-Man 1 suit. Okay, not his homemade suit. His homemade suit with the glasses and the beanie.
We don't have to talk about the homemade suits. We can talk about their actual suits.
Honestly, it's not bad, but not the best homemade suit. Amazing Spider-Man 1 suit is sick with the yellow lenses. All right. You guys agree? No?
The first one's not that good.
Okay.
Second one's clean.
It's okay.
I ain't
The
going.
Amazing Spider-Man 2
Fire.
suits is the best Spider-Man suit to date.
Nah.
Argue with the wall. I'm not even kidding. The logo is perfect. The design, as far as the colors go, perfect. The webbing, look. Okay, so on the Amazing Spider-Man 2 suit, the reason why I like it more than like Tobey's, because Tobey has like the gray webbing, like it's raised.
It's black.
The black webbing on the Amazing Spider-Man 2 suit, so dope. It's so sick. And like the widened lenses on the Amazing Spider-Man 2 suit, that suit is just perfect. I think it's easily the best. Easily.
I will say.
I can't say easily.
I don't know about easily. I will say that's
It's amazing.
probably the closest besides Tom's for me.
The end.
The Amazing Spider-Man 2 suit.
Versus the end of Tom's.
Yeah.
So we're just not gonna count that in Tom suit. I haven't actually.
You
seen
have
it.
to count it.
I've barely seen
I got
it,
the
buddy.
Funko right over there.
All right.
It's right. Look at it.
Yeah, I
look
see.
at that.
Cool.
No, look at that, and then look at the comics around it.
Also, yeah, can we appreciate?
Can't tell me.
Can we appreciate how good the shelf is?
Oh, Jase.
Thank you.
Shout
Thank
out.
you.
Applause, everybody.
Thank you.
Applause.
I mean, if you haven't noticed, if you haven't been watching, we change our shelf every week based on the theme of our episode. So this week, obviously, Spider-Man looks great. Anyway,
I told him all my purchases will come in handy. I wasn't wasting my
Thousands
money
of
for nothing.
dollars.
Thousands is crazy. Anyway, I do like this suit. I like Andrew's Spider-Man 2 suit, but colors for me. I think if it was a little bit brighter, perfect.
yeah,
But the red and the blue are just too dark.
I think it matches like their like personalities. Like Tom's a lot more like,
Yeah.
That's fair.
and then
That's
Andrew's
fair.
more like angsty
And
type thing.
they're in universes where there's not other superheroes.
Right,
Yeah.
It's
exactly.
normal for Tom to have colorful costumes because there's superheroes everywhere.
Right.
That all have different colors and costumes and everything like that. So it makes sense to the universe. I'm saying if we're talking about just the best suit overall, I want the one that's the most faithful to.
That's fair.
Yeah.
All right, what's your argument for Tobey?
Tobey's is just iconic. It's really similar, honestly, to his second suit. Obviously, the logo's a little different,
Yeah,
but I mean, the colors are almost identical. Like in No Way Home, if it was like a wide shot and they're swinging around, it's hard to tell which is which.
It's true.
yeah.
So like they're
Okay.
pretty similar. I'm okay with you saying it's number one, but the one thing that Tobey has over everyone is he has the symbiote suit.
That is very true.
He has
not,
that all
obviously I
black
knew he was gonna say
symbiote
that.
suit, and the gray lines perfectly work with that one. Beautiful.
It
So
is
even
true.
if you don't
that
think,
is an iconic.
That
even
is
if you
an
don't think
iconic
Tobey's
suit.
normal one is the best, which I think it's in the conversation with those two, he has the symbiote suit, which to me just puts him over the top.
We gotta
He
add
has
the-
two perfect suits in my
Yeah.
opinion, almost perfect.
The symbiote suit.
It goes
Yeah,
hard.
it is crazy.
We gotta add the symbiote song as he's saying.
The Venom song. Oh man! All right, so vote on favorite suit below. Tell us what your favorite Spider-Man suit is.
Yeah. And last but not least, we have Peter Parker. And Peter Parker encapsulates everything, like his personality, like is it true to the comics? His love interest, I think, is really important. I guess you could talk about Spider-Sense here, but Zion already covered that in the strength category.
It
But yeah.
makes sense. It makes sense.
Right.
No.
Right.
Crazy.
Have I gone first yet?
I don't know. You go first. Take it.
Okay.
What is the most Peter Parker thing about Andrew Garfield?
Okay. So a lot of people will say that Andrew Garfield is like too cool to be a Peter Parker, which He's cooler than Tom and Tobey, that's for sure. But I think it's a good balance. But what people don't see, like in the first movie, in The Amazing Spider-Man, do you guys remember when that girl came up to him? He's like, "Oh, are you free Friday night?" And Andrew just gets all awkward. He's like, and obviously, like she wasn't asking him out, right? Peter Parker's supposed to be an outcast. Like you can see that Andrew Garfield is an outcast, despite being like a little bit cooler, like the skateboarder guy, you know.
Yeah.
But also, like when he asked Gwen out, like it was so awkward to watch. And speaking of Gwen, best love interest
No.
any Spider-Man ever.
Oh my gosh.
Ever.
Dude.
All right.
Jase,
First of all, if you try to tell me that Mary Jane in Tobey Maguire's is the best love interest, we're squaring up right now. She might actually be the most annoying character of all time. And okay.
Hey, I'm not saying that.
I know you're saying
I'm not saying that.
You're saying MJ. Gwen Stacy's better.
But not even the movies. Just across all Spider-Man media. Gwen?
Yes.
No, bro.
Gwen every time. Over MJ.
That's crazy.
Can't tell me I'm wrong.
So what is the most Peter Parker part about that?
About his like love interest?
Yeah.
I think that MJ is always supposed to like be there for Peter Parker. Like, here, this is what I'll say. MJ or like his love interest.
Okay.
Yeah. Like Mary Jane in the Maguire movies, always like she's always whining, complaining about something so annoying. That's what I'll say. Mary Jane loved Peter for Spider-Man. I think MJ in Tom Holland's loved them both. But I think Gwen Stacy loved Peter Parker for Peter Parker more than Spider-Man. And I think that's why Gwen is the best love interest. Especially like the chemistry that they had, it's better than Tom Holland and Zendaya's.
I don't think so.
Yeah, probably.
I don't think so.
Y'all are tripping.
Nah, bro, that's crazy. Here's what I'll say about Tom. I think Tom is the best Peter Parker. In terms of what they did with the character, it felt like what a Peter Parker would be in the modern world. The other two movies, to me, felt a little bit too much into stereotypes, and it felt a little bit too much like there are middle-aged men in the writer's room writing what they think a modern high schooler would say and do. Tom's movies, literally, like, I was just rewatching Homecoming, and I'm like, this dude is low-key annoying. Because he's 15 years old. He acts like it.
Okay,
you know?
that is one thing I will say. Tom Holland is he seems a lot younger.
Yeah,
like you can tell that like an almost 30-year-old is playing Spider-Man in Amazing Spider-Man. Yeah. And in Tobey's.
Yeah.
But yeah.
MJ and Zendaya as MJ, perfect casting. Obviously it was different than what everybody thought. Especially in Homecoming, she was very different than what we would think of as MJ. But I think they started doing it in Far From Home, and then especially in No Way Home, they really got the dynamic between Peter and MJ that I think is just iconic for the characters. I think MJ is the best Spider-Man love interest, and I think it was cool seeing their support. Like everything that Peter did, it was to try to help MJ, and she was always there for him, always supportive of him, even through all the craziness of what was going on. So, but I will say my pick for this category, the most Peter Parker thing that Tom could do is to lose everything. Peter Parker is one of the most unlucky characters in all of fiction. And I mean, at the end of No Way Home, this man has nothing.
Yeah.
No human being in the world remembers him. Not only does he not have Uncle Ben, he lost Aunt May in a traumatic way. His girlfriend doesn't remember him. He has no friends. Even the other superheroes don't remember who he is. They know Spider-Man, but like, there's no relational connection there. He dropped out of high school. He didn't graduate high school. He's not going to college. He's living on his own in a broke apartment. This place is That place was nasty, bro.
It was pretty gross.
It was bad. I mean, that has to be the most Peter Parker. That was the most Peter Parker 2 minutes I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, but once again, your best moments of Tom have been the last 2 minutes of his last movie. We haven't actually seen
the suits and him.
The suits and him being Peter Parker is the last 2 minutes. We haven't actually seen it happen.
No, it was all so good, but it got even better at the end.
Nah,
I can't.
I personally
There's
don't
too
think
much to pick from.
Tom's probably the worst in my opinion. Peter Parker.
Peter versus
he
Andrew?
he had too many people actually liked him. Like even though Flash would bully him, like people liked him. His debate team were like, "Oh, where's Peter at?" Like they liked him.
True.
He Toby literally everyone. I think everyone hated him besides like his best friend and his aunt, bro.
And even his best friend.
Yeah, even like they literally he was an outcast.
That's what.
Like,
yeah,
all he did was get made fun of.
But Tom was a modern one. Like,
but people liked him.
He was a nerd with Ned.
He was a nerd, but people still liked him and enjoyed being around him.
They liked him for his brain. That's it.
He also was just too likable of a character. Everyone hated Toby.
MJ liked him for his brain.
No, not MJ. I'm not talking. I'm talking about everybody else.
He's backtracking now.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying, like, besides MJ and Ned, he didn't really have nobody. But it was a more realistic way. Tom didn't have some 6 foot 35-year-old in high school coming up to him being like, "Hey kid, give me your lunch." That's not real life. That's not realistic. But he had a normal bully.
How do you know?
That would just say
you never went to high school, buddy. How do you know?
First off, let me clarify.
How do you not know there are 6 foot?
No.
What?
All right. I was homeschooled.
No, I said that's not real life.
That wasn't really. No, I'm just saying.
So wait, so you're saying a 6 foot can't be in high school, a 6-footer, or a 6 foot?
No,
I'm just saying Flash Thompson in the.
He's never seen a football player from high school.
Flash Thompson in the original movie
was a big high schooler, which there are
that
at most
man
high schools.
had to be 35.
They were all old. I'll admit that. But let's not act like there aren't big people in high school.
Okay, but I'm just saying, Jase, is it realistic to have a movie, a bully like that in real life?
I mean, maybe not now, but definitely like in the past when those movies came out, possibly.
I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe. I'm just saying, it didn't seem very realistic to me. But anyway,
that's
why my pick.
Andrew is the perfect balance.
No. I will say, off topic, I
think
think Andrew's the best Spider-Man in terms of how he acts.
Pick?
Not really. But how he acts when he's Spider-Man is like the best.
Oh, yeah.
For sure. I don't think anyone could debate
he's
that.
No, because Tom
had the most quips.
I'm saying Tom was too corny. Like,
no,
because Spider-Man's supposed to be corny, right? But like, there's a certain point where it's like just kind of like, it's not it. Like Andrew had those moments where he was still making quips, but he was still like serious.
They're actually like kind of rude and like funny.
When he was
Tom was just kind of making
looking
like,
for
fun.
Here's what I need to say about Andrew, bro. You say he's balanced. He went too far on multiple occasions.
In what sense?
In the first movie when he webs that criminal to the wall.
I was just about to bring that up.
I'm glad you were.
When he first like gets in the car, when he's looking for the guy who killed Uncle Ben, he's like, dude, if you're gonna be a car thief or like if you're gonna rob cars, like don't dress like a car thief or whatever he says.
Yeah.
Like that's what it should be. Like it's not like corny.
He does have good quips, but I'm just saying it's not very Spider-Man to me to web someone's mouth and nose.
Tom tried to murder the Green Goblin. He would have killed him if it weren't for Toby.
Another reason why Toby's the best.
But he did
the only one who hasn't tried to murder someone.
And I don't actually believe that he would have. I personally don't.
He was in.
We've all had a range from the motion.
Not only
was in the motion of.
He was literally going down.
He was just gonna swerve.
No,
he was doing a fake out.
For what reason?
This is some Batman argument stuff.
He was trying to make him afraid. He wants to make him afraid, but then he was gonna throw him around.
We're not gonna act like after Toby stopped him, he didn't try to go down again.
Exactly.
He can't let up. He gotta let Green Goblin know he's staying on business.
And then he just.
You gotta let him know.
All right, buddy.
But what Green Goblin doesn't, it's like the Batman effect. Like,
oh my.
Okay. Batman's gonna make you think that he'll kill him, but he's really not in his heart.
Who, Ben Affleck?
Don't.
Roll the kill count video. Roll the kill count video.
All right. Yo, we're getting off topic. We're getting off topic.
Okay.
All right, I'm just saying.
Real quick, I think Toby's the best Peter Parker.
Cap.
He's literally just like the weirdest one. No one likes him. He's still a nerd, but like no one likes him. That's supposed to be Peter. There's supposed to be a dual thing of where like he's a superhero for a reason. Andrew acted the same when he was Peter Parker pretty much as when he was Spider-Man. Same thing kind of with Tom. Like they kind of act the same. Tobey was the one who like acted completely different. He was like a superhero, and when he wasn't, he was the weirdo.
That's fair.
That's fair. That's a good
So
argument.
I'd say he's the most like
I'll
comic
say that.
accurate in terms of that.
Okay, yeah, I see that. So I guess for the last category, Peter Parker. Do you want to bring up his love interest? Actually, no, you don't.
No, we can skip that part.
Yeah, okay.
That's not important.
All right, yeah. So, yep. Vote below. Who was the best? Not only Peter Parker, but who is the best Spider-Man overall?
Tom Holland, Andrew Garfield,
Tobey Maguire.
Let us know in the comments below. And next we're going to wrap up.
Yep. All right, guys. So that's going to do it for today's episode. Hope you all enjoyed watching. And if you are watching on YouTube, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. And if you're listening rather on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, make sure to rate our show 5 stars. It would really help a lot. No shame in the plug. Also go follow us on TikTok and Instagram. But that's going to do it for today's episode. And we will see you next week with a surprise episode.
See y'all.
Later.